Hello, Player One Taco coming to you live day 0 of the Bitcoin conference here in Las Vegas 2025. You can see it behind us, the iconic, someone's device.
That's our point of sale.
Oh, a point of sale. So one of the really cool things that is happening in Vegas, because in Vegas you have to go, everything goes over the top of the last person. It doesn't matter if it's in the same industry, they got to go over and so one of the really coolest things you have going on here is you're going to attempt the Guinness World Record of most transactions in one day. The big question is, actually, let's roll this back.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Hey, so I'm Scott Lee. I'm the one of the primary producers of the conference. I focus primarily on the AV, so I've built all the stages, all the totems, the UFO I helped create and brought to life. I execute. So we've got a great design team, our experienced team with Pat Riley and his guys. And then when they get their ideas shaped, and we together galvanize them, and then I find the teams to put them together, and I get the privilege of walking it out and bringing it to life.
Nice. We are here at the wonderful, beautiful Venetian Palazzo Expo Center, and so that means humongous. I think I counted about 157 booths. Yep. Not just sponsors, but booths alone. And so the thing that's going to be trying to set this Bitcoin 2025 over the top is the World Guinness Book Record of most transactions in a single day. Is that going to be limited to Bitcoin itself, layer 2s, or everything, including Lightning?
No, so the interesting thing is we've partnered with Square and, of course, Bitcoin Pay Server. So this is one of their devices. And all of the transactions that we record will have to go through the network that we've set up for these payments. And it will... we'll have a tracking. I believe they've got a public tracking link that they're going to share, and I know that through the live stream we're going to have regular reports. But I wasn't asking anybody whether we would set the record, to be honest. I'm it's more of an over and under on how long and how early in the day this is. Are we going to do this before or after lunch when we find this out?
All right, I don't know this. Do we know the number? Do you know the number?
Yep. It's 4,000. So
4,000 transactions in a day.
4,000 transactions, right? That. We'll get that with just the audience that's going over to Chesney on their way over. We'll make them stop and buy something. So
all right.
I think it's a pretty easy bar to catch, man. I think
I've done 4,000 transactions in a day.
Well, so we're doing some things to I think help excel that, and Rockstar Dev has brought a giant stack of Bolt cards, and they're going to be giving those out to attendees. I mean, heck, I think I've given out a dozen or so of them, and they're already preloaded, so people will be able to basically use some sats that they don't have an attachment to, and we're just telling people go over to the bazaar, get some of our bazaar vendors involved, go if you just want to get a drink, but it's, think about spending them widely as opposed to one big transaction, and I think we get there. I think we get there by noon.
Nice. All right, so you hear it first. The over-under is noon. All right, so
no, I want to talk about something else because, Guinness is interesting. But the really cool thing about our conference is that we're going to get recorded in other ways. So we have the National Archives coming. By law, the speech by Vance will need to be recorded. He's having a round table while he's here that will be recorded and archived in the annals of history. And so whether we like it or not, no matter what the outcome is, this is a historic event.
It is. And so earlier this year at DAS, the Digital Asset Summit hosted by Blockworks in New York, they had a sitting president, Donald Trump, give a recorded speech to the crowd. And that was the first time a sitting president had addressed, in any way, shape, or form, a crypto conference or just directly to the blockchain DLT community. And now we have an active sitting vice president coming to this as well. This is going to be sort of historic in all sorts of ways.
I mean, we've got Lutnick and Bassant coming, and I think that Cantor Fitzgerald actually is a sponsor now, and so it's historic, and they mean it. They're not just, they're involved. These people are coming, and these are the people that are going to have influence on the regulations, the future of our industry, and they're here with very welcoming arms from us, but also that they're coming with a understanding that this is an important area to focus their concerns on.
One of the things that I think is really important that I appreciate, not only are they coming themselves, but they're bringing like their advisors and teams, and those people, the people that really are on the front line or close to the front line that listen and learn, those people are the ones that are going to be really paying attention to things, talking to the mom and pop sponsors and booths and projects to see what matters to them and what can help or hurt them. And, so they can sort of guide, because yes, every individual is amazing that follows blockchain in some way, shape, or form, but there's so much going on that having a board of advisors, I think, is one of the really cool things. So that is going to be an amazing thing that's going to be happening.
There's, when you talk about that sort of collateral impact, we see that here. We have thousands of employees that work for the Venetian and for the AV companies that I work with directly, that are being impacted by this. They're seeing what the Bitcoin community is really made of, and what they're finding is that these are people that are like highly intentional, that are very passionate about what they're doing here. Like, very few people are involved with the event that don't have a Bitcoin lean, that they're not involved. So at every turn, these people are being orange pilled a little bit at a time, and in a very organic way of seeing how we operate with each other and how we operate with transparency and with trust and with like trying to get consensus when we are trying to figure something out. We're very we don't work on hierarchy. We work on like a round table understanding when we're doing all of this. So,
it's the consistency of it too, because you talk about the transparency, and the consensus, but the consensus of consistently showing up as well.
Sure.
And I think that really drives someone home. We're just not a flash, like a supernova, look bright and disappear. We're here, and this is sort of one of those testaments of how to prove that. One of the really cool things, that I see with conferences and that I try to do is talk to people that aren't involved with the conference in any way, shape, or form. Talk to them about crypto. Like, so you're at this conference. Do you have a wallet? I've been cheating. I'm not just a Bitcoin maxi. I'm chain agnostic. I've been using the Jupiter Universal Send. So I literally can show someone a QR code, and they can take a picture of it, and I send them gasless crypto for free. But one of the things I really love in the Bitcoin world is the wallet of Satoshi.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite wallet for like doing Lightning Network, peer-to-peer transactions, what Bitcoin was made for. So I think that this is going to be a really interesting time. I'm super excited, and
we're glad to have you here, man. Good to have you back. I know you're an expert at events. I will give you that props. And so for you to come here, be interested in participating here, I consider that an honor. I appreciate you doing that and for covering it. And whether you use this or not, man, I really do appreciate it.
No, I use everything in some point, shape, or form, because why not? But no, this is one of the things to where I've been to conferences where they're just put up last thought. I've been to conferences where it's just put together by an event company. But when you have an event company that lives and breathes this, and it comes through, we see everything from, no matter what people's view on centralized versus decentralized, we have it all under one roof. We have everything from free Ross Ulbricht, memorabilia, like his prison shoes, up for auction. If you have monkeys, giant balloons of inscriptions. You have Robinhood Crypto here. You have Frax. You have Coinbase here, Galaxy, Deloitte, FastX, Go Mining. Gemini, and even stand with crypto. And then you have BitDeer and all of these other mining operations. There's like Chinese mining operation, like companies that provide not mining equipment but like transformers so that people can build better mining equipment. And you see it from the ground all the way to the most outlandish thing, like I don't know, there was like a trading card, just like, and they just take sats, and so like everyone's using this in some way, shape, or form, and it's really cool.
Thanks, man. I think so too. I like to think of our conference as Bitcoin impact. And if what these people are doing, if it impacts Bitcoin, if it has something to do with Bitcoin, we have a pretty wide view on what that is. And so we're not so contained with Bitcoin maximalism in terms of, does everybody here have that same exact ethos? I don't think that would be that interesting. I think it's way more interesting that there's people that are influenced by other chains and other things, and they bring that into the conversation, and some of it sticks, some of it doesn't become involved with Bitcoin. But I think that it's very hard to argue that all technology kind of impacts all technology, and so in some way, shape, or form, if they have a line of business or something that is impactful on Bitcoin, then we're really open to them being involved here. And hell, I mean, Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake.
They take Bitcoin, how much less of a Bitcoin company can that be? But the fact that they take Bitcoin, that's enough for us, because, we want to welcome that in. We're trying, adoption is a big part of what our mission is here. And so when you see it in action, we got to celebrate that, man. Bring that stuff home.
We got to celebrate it. Go visit your local Steak and Shake. Yeah. Buy something with Bitcoin. And even if it's difficult, walk through it and see what those pain points are, and then make some positive criticism, critiques to Steak and Shake so that they can learn, because this is their first foray. We've never seen a company so public, so fast food chain based, do something like this in the US. And so this is just an amazing time to be alive. Now, I have a question. Since everything here is somehow Bitcoin related, the only thing that I have not seen that is not Bitcoin related, unless you tell me otherwise, the Blue Origin capsule. Is that the same capsule Katy Perry was in, supposedly?
Well, yeah, it's a model of it. I'm not sure it's the exact one.
A model of it.
Maybe a prototype, or it may be another. I can't tell you that that's the serial number that went. I don't know.
It wasn't on chain.
And you know what? There are things that happen here sometimes because people just think it would be fucking cool.
And I don't get me wrong. I think that is freaking cool as heck.
And so it was a product of an offer to bring, and a little bit of why not? We're going to build a UFO. We're going to space. We're going to the moon. We're galaxy money. So, I think there's a lot of that sort of space play that just made it make sense. And so, we're serious about doing a really awesome job and being real professionals about this. And then we also have a great sense of humor, and we have great levity. And, if you don't see some of the tongue-in-cheek stuff as you go through here, you're missing some of the best parts of it, for sure.
No, there's just being here is the best part. So I'm super excited. It is empty, and there are so many booths here getting ready for
time to be here. Favorite time to be here is this.
I walked in at 2 o'clock this morning, so I got front row access.
Yeah,
getting to see how much work has been done in just the day.
About 96 hours. So we took over on Friday. What are we, Monday? So,
I think so, yeah.
somewhere between 70 and 90 hours. We went from watching the last show leave, trucks pulling out, to having this world. We built a city, and with blocks and highways and little neighborhoods and villages, and of course all the stages and all these totems and all this.
Are you going to climb the Clean Spark climbing wall?
I don't know. We'll see. I can barely stand up right now, so we'll see. I might rally. I might try it.
All right. So as we wrap this up, because I know you still have a heck ton you got to do.
And my phone's blowing up.
Your phone is blowing up. My phone is blowing up. We are here in Las Vegas. What's the last call to action you would like to give?
You got to get here, and if you got to get here, you got to experience. It's not singular. There's something different for everybody, and whether you're a concerned citizen with no real toehold in the industry, or you're in the business of Bitcoin, there's something for you. If you like to play pickleball or a game of basketball, or you just like to hang out with people that are interesting and authentic, you're going to find that here. And then I will just say, because I was a big part of bringing it to life, is that our live stream that we're going to have is going to wow people. They're not ready for it. This is going to be maybe a change in the level. We're gonna raise the bar for how live streams should be done at events, and I hope people take notice of it, and I hope
my brain is rolling through all the ways that it could be really cool. So I'm gonna give one idea. You have like 1,000 of those little tiny traveling robots with cameras, and people can just take one over. They pay a few sats to take it over and travel and walk around and talk to people.
Well, what I do have is in the rafters, I have eyeballs, and they're going to be, talking to the eye in the sky. Okay. They're going to be making trips around the entire expo center. From that eye in the sky, you can see the mining stage and who's on it, who's on the Genesis stage at the back. You can go to the totem. We're going to go to the store and the art gallery, and our host is going to give you a visual tour. And between that and checking in on the Nakamoto stage, seeing the crowd, we've got an eye in the sky in there too. I mean,
one of the coolest stages, maybe because all the lights were off and how intimate it looked, but the vault, that stage looks like
the deep sessions.
The deep session looks like that is going to be alpha.
Yeah, it will. It will. It always is. It'll deliver. But Carly and her team over there have done just a bang up job. They take it very personal. They give it all the touches. These people. These are the people that are committed. They've got conviction and they want to be there. They know what it feels like to have a real experience. And what most of it is, surprisingly, it's not technology, it's not the Blue Origin capsule, it's not the great food that they get in there. It's just the companionship of other people that are doing the same thing and that are just as passionate, and put them in a nice, small, intimate space where they have a chill vibe and they can.
That is not a small space. That is huge.
Well, it's going to feel small when you see the numbers that come in there, because while it's supposed to be a VIP experience, we had such an overwhelming response to it. We've got our largest group of whale tickets out there this year. So we sold out of them. As you know, you can't buy whale passes today. We went to a Nakamoto pass that we had kind of in our tool belt.
In your tool belt.
And we knew we had, so we pulled that out. We sold a few more of those. Those are sold out. So it's going to be packed in there, believe it or not. That place is going to start to feel small come tomorrow afternoon.
As we close this out, we are here, Las Vegas 2025 Bitcoin, final piece of alpha. Where is Bitcoin 2026 going to be?
You're going to have to tune in to find out.
Damn it.